Well, I just talked to the guys. They're now down there waiting for the press conference of Geithner coming up in 2 hours. Getting there early to make sure they get a good spot. They're down there. That's good. Geithner and Austin give a press conference. I think the media ought to all go out there and ask him about what's going on so he can't just pose as a victim in front of a shattered building. Notice this guy will not give press conferences, but now he's coming down here to play the part of a victim when he doesn't even pay his taxes. So that is coming up, and if the guys run into any trouble, we'll report it live here on air for you. They've got our studio number on speed dial, but they're now there, not running into any problems. Their First Amendment is not being violated. And that's certainly good news. Don't want to have to file a lawsuit over this. Before we go to Joe, Lexi, Eric, Julie, Charles, Sean, Don, Herman, Captain Briggs, Alex, and others. Got two different phone systems, our phone system and the Genesis phone system. Before I start blitzing to your calls and then covering a bunch of other news in the next hour, I want to play this speech by Gordon Brown that mirrors the Herman von Rompuy speech calling for global government coming up. This is a new speech in the next hour. It's only a 4-minute speech. We'll take about 10 to start it and stop it and break it down. So you definitely stay with us for that. Very important for those of you that have family, friends, employees, bosses that are still in denial about the fact that world government's being set up right now. I want to thank some of the sponsors first, though, before we go any further. First off, I want to thank My Solar Backup. Have you lost your power and wanted to simply flip a switch to get the lights back on? If so, you should check out MySolarBackup.com because there's never been a better time to start getting off the grid and generate your own supply of electrical power. Here's why. Plug-and-play solar generators are now available from Solution from Science. These portable power systems need no installation and supply household current wherever and whenever you need it, producing electricity directly from the sun. Unlike gas generators, the solar generator runs quietly and emits no fumes. It's like having your own electrical power plant, and it's perfect for your home or your campsite. Whether it's hurricanes, ice storms, brownouts, blackouts, you'll never have to suffer through painful power outages again. So go to MySolarBackup.com, request their free information package today. That's MySolarBackup.com or 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. Also, I want to tell you about eFoodsDirect.com. We don't have to remind you that you need food to survive. One of our best and oldest sponsors is eFoods Direct. It's the longest continually operating storable foods company in the nation that's high-quality, non-GMO, non-hybrid, all grown here in the U.S. except for the bananas. And they've got ready-to-eat meals, just the biggest index of recently, and we're talking the last month, produced food, not 10-year-old crud. They also happen to be true patriots who supported the freedom movement for years and have the best prices. That's eFoodsDirect.com. You'll never stand in a bread line if you have your own food, your own bread. eFoodsDirect.com or 800-409-5633. 800-409-5633. That's eFoodsDirect.com. Okay, let's go first to Captain Briggs, calling from Texas. You're on the air, sir.
Good afternoon, Alex. I just want to say kudos to Tim and Craig for running the InfoWars booth for you.
Yeah, you're the fella I met you down at the gun show this weekend.
Sir, there's only one good-looking guy there besides you, but I was wearing a cowboy hat and a kilt. We'll get you in a kilt later, I'm sure.
Okay. Don't start talking like Glenn Beck about French kissing Rick Perry. That's anyway.
Well, it takes a real man to wear a kilt.
Okay. What's on your mind?
Yes, sir. I wanted to say good job on the gun show. Thank you for showing up. That was an absolute treat. I did get the Deborah Medina placards up on the roof on the chimney. I got my Liberty stickers. Thank you, Rick McGinnis and Katie Brewer, for facilitating that. That goes on the Bubba truck. My weapons of choice are the DVDs that I get from your site and bumper stickers like the ones we get from Liberty Stickers, spread the word. On the way back to Colleen from Austin, I did stop by and see the crash site there. I'm with you. We need some answers. We need to have an investigation.
Another issue we haven't really covered is all these other small planes crash into even glass buildings, and the damage is at 1/10. I've never seen, but he did supposedly load it up with extra gasoline.
Thank you, and that's what I'm talking about. We need some answers there. It reminded me of some of the buildings that I saw in Kuwait City from Desert Storm, or some buildings there in Iraq in 2003 when I was there. There's something else going on there, brother. You're right. We need to get all the answers before we demonize that guy and victimize little Timmy Geithner and all those other crooks up there around Washington, D.C.
Well, he won't show his head in public, but he's going to show up in front of the shattered building and have a stupid press conference. I appreciate your call, Captain Briggs. Moving quickly, let's take a call off the Genesis phone system. Charles in Arkansas, you're on the air.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Mr. Jones?
Good.
I want to comment on that Texas thing that happened in Austin. You know, of all the places for this to happen, make a long story quick, it had to happen in your hometown. Unbelievable.
Absolutely.
You probably don't remember, but I called you about a year ago, and as soon as I got through talking to you, a woman called in behind me, complained that she had to wait like 9 hours to get on your show.
Well, yes, you're here, sir.
I want to make one more thing very quickly. Can I make an announcement, please?
Go ahead.
All right. To all the listeners in Arkansas, my name is Charles Neely. I used to be known as JL7, a.k.a. GELL, the number 7. I was formerly homeless, Alex, and I used to document my plight of homelessness by putting up videos on YouTube of what's going on in Little Rock, Arkansas. Well, 2 years ago, I was on the street. Now I'm off the street with the help from a loving Christian family. And now I'm running for Vic Snyder, as Congressman Vic Snyder's seat in the 2nd Congressional District here in Little Rock.
Well, that's good. That's good.
I have taken this step because, Alex, somebody had to do something. And right now, the Democrats and the Republicans are both trying to push their little groom for office people like Tracy Steele of the Martin Luther King Civil Rights Commission and former United States Attorney Tim Griffin. Here I am, just formerly a homeless guy. I'm running for office as an independent because... Well,
Charles, how are you listening to us in Arkansas?
Over the internet.
All right, God bless you. I appreciate your call. Ted Anderson got us on a 50,000 water in Arkansas, and I haven't seen it on our affiliate list. Maybe we should... John, go ask Ted the affiliate numbers and frequency of that station in Arkansas. Covers the entire state. Yeah, call him and ask. Because, tell you, that affiliate list has got like half the stations on it, and most of them are wrong. Let's talk to Sean in Arizona. Sean, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Jones, I've been listening to you for 4 weeks, and I've been wanting to compliment you. I'm 49 years old. I'm a resident of Wyoming. I've got Lyme disease, and I'm battling it here in Arizona. I've been informed since I was 16 years old. In fact, I worked for Governor Reagan and President-elect Reagan at the Republican National Convention in Detroit in 1980, and I have an incident I just wanted to share with some of your listeners because it's something that happened to me, and I remarked to people everywhere.
Is that the famous incident where they came in and said, we don't care if you're the guy that's going to get elected, you won't be if you don't put George H.W. Bush on the ticket? Because that was seen by hundreds of people and reported by the press.
Absolutely. I was around that. I was the individual that actually, after the pressure was put on Reagan, if you remember, they had some clips here recently on television because Cronkite had died last year, and that famous shot of Cronkite with Jerry Ford up in the booth at the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, and I was standing underneath it at the time, and all the rumors that were floating around of this phony Reagan Ford presidency. We were true conservatives there, and if you may recall, the true conservatives were behind Phil Crane at the time. They wanted Reagan to pick Phil Crane from Illinois. It would have been a 1-2 punch for conservatism, but the Eastern establishment wanted to. They were so, and the press, the Eastern establishment, the bankers, and the press were so upset that Reagan was going to win that convention that they put incredible pressure on him to pick George Bush Sr. as his running mate. And,
by the way, I was talking to Dr. Paul Craig Roberts off air. So every time we sent a team to interview him in Florida, too, but talking about Bush going after Reagan once he was in office. But real fast, Sean, finish up.
Yeah. I was the person who they entrusted to the following day. Reagan made an announcement. He broke with tradition. He came out on the floor of the convention on that Wednesday night and said, I have to dispel all these rumors. I have asked George Bush to be my vice president, and he has accepted. The next day, which was Thursday morning, they sent me, I went from the top of the Renaissance Center in Detroit with a top secret file, basically, pertaining to a press release, and I took it over to the Bush camp, to the Bush boys. W may have been there at the time, I can't remember, but there were the three boys up in the Pontchartrain Hotel, and it listed Bush's complete history with Zephyr Oil in Texas and so forth. And I looked at it. I wasn't supposed to, but I looked at it because I was informed of the Trilateral Commission at the time and so forth. I was only 19.
Yeah, that actually came out in Florida papers that Reagan had been criticizing Bush for being a New World Order person.